Beyoncé Knowles Carter. Born September 4, 1981, Houston, Texas, USA. Birth name Beyoncé Knowles. Nicknames Jujumadabi Sasha Fire Queen B Queen Beyoncé. Height 5 feet 6 inches 1.68 meters. Mini bio Beyoncé Knowles was born on September 4, 1981 in Houston, Texas. Her mom, Tina Knowles Lawson, designs their glittering costumes and her dad, Matthew Knowles, manages Destiny's Child. Solange, her sister, they're 4 years apart, has released her debut album. She dances with her big sister during DC3 concerts. Beyoncé is of Louisiana Creole and African descent. She and her group were discovered by Whitney Houston. One of her favorite songs is Live Full by the Cardigans. Her favorite item of clothing is a pair of Pathwork metallic boots. She writes and produces many of the group's songs, including smash hits, Jumpin' Jumpin', Bootylicious, Nasty Girl, Independent Women, Happy Face, and Apple Pie a la Mode. IMDb Mini Biography by T. Family. Spouse Jay Z, April 4, 2008. Present 3 children. Children Rumi Carter, Sir Carter, Blue Ivy Carter. Parents Matthew Knowles, Tina Knowles Lawson. Relatives Solange, sibling. Trademarks large, heavy earrings. Often wears bodysuits when performing. Often wears stiletto heels. Mezzo-soprano vocals. Royalist Party. Trivial. Was a tomboy and refused to wear dresses when she was younger. Has known R&B singer Alicia Keys since she was 14. Best friends with Kelly Rowland since they were children. Toured with TLC is their opening act, 1999. Has been quoted as saying that to get over her shyness she developed a stage persona named Sasha. Toured with Christina Aguilera as her opening act, 2000. Is a huge fan of Middle Eastern music and dance. Sang 3 of the 5 Oscar-nominated songs at the 77th Annual Academy Awards, 2005, including one completely in French, 2005. Her biggest hit to date is song, Crazy in Love, 2003. Before her trio became Destiny's Child they were known as Girls Time. Is a huge fan of Aishwarya Rai Bachchan. Beyoncé was named after her mom's maiden name, Beyoncé. Her father, Matthew Knowles, is African American. Her mother, Tina, born Celestine Ann Beyoncé, is of Louisiana Creole ancestry, mainly African and French, with ancestors from Louisiana, and, before that, Canada. Beyoncé is also of 132nd Irish descent, and has distant Breton roots on her mother's side, as well. Good friends with Gwyneth Paltrow, Mariah Carey, and Rihanna. Has a cat named Master P. First female artist to reach #1 position on both singles and albums chart simultaneously in the United States and the United Kingdom, 2003. In 2001, she became the first African American woman to ever win the ASCAP Pop Songwriter of the Year award. In her song, Get Me Bodied, from her album, Bade, she says 4 numbers at the start of her song, 9, 4, 8 and 1. These numbers are her birth date. The 4th of September, 9th month, and 8 and 1 because she was born in 1981. Solange's big sister and Nixon and Coy Knowles' older half-sister. Formed the Survivors Foundation for survivors of Hurricane Katrina. February 8, 2004, won 5 Grammy Awards, including Best Contemporary R&B Album for Dangerously in Love. She took home the most awards for this year's 2004 show. According to a television interview with Steve Jones for Beyoncé, for the record 2009, Beyoncé said the music video for Single Ladies, Put a Ring on It, was the cheapest video made of all her singles released. This was because most of the budget was used for the single, If I Were a Boy. Ranked #1 on A.'s 50 Steamiest Southern Stars. Attended the High School for the Performing and Visual Arts in Houston, Texas. March 28, 2006, along with her Destiny's Child members, she and they were honored with a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. The gold and diamond nail rings for the music video, Sweet Dreams, is valued at $36,000. It was made by Bejewel's designer, Jules Kim. January 20, 2009, sang, At Last, immortalized by Etta James, at the first presidential inaugural ball as Barack Obama and Michelle Obama danced cheek to cheek. Other featured artists in the venue included Stevie Wonder, Jay Z, Sting, Alicia Keys, Mariah Carey, Faith Hill, Maroon 5's Adam Levine, etc. At the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards, she won the Video of the Year award and allowed Taylor Swift to finish her acceptance speech for Best Female Video after Ye interrupted her. One of People magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People in the World, for Most Wanted Lips, 2004. Her favorite rapper is Wyclef Jean. She and Destiny's Child were awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for recording at 6801 Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood, California. Her victory at the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards, January 31, 2010, set a record for a female artist. 6 Grammy wins in a single year, including Song of the Year, for Single Ladies, Put a Ring on It, Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, for Halo, Best Female R&B Vocal Performance, Best Traditional R&B Vocal Performance, Best R&B Song and Best Contemporary R&B Album, for I Am Sasha Fierce. Beyoncé and Shakira are collaborating on a song called Beautiful Liar. The song will appear on a special edition reissue of Beyoncé's solo album, Birthday. Launched a clothing line, House of Dereon, with her mother, Tina Knowles Lawson, in 2005. The name, Dereon, is Tina's mother's maiden name. She and her then-boyfriend Jay-Z own 3 apartments at South Beach in Miami. Chosen by American Music Magazine, Billboard, as Woman of the Year, 2009. Was born on a Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Mother Tina Knowles Lawson used to run a hair salon. June 13, 2005, she and the other members of Destiny's Child announced that they will disband after their tour ends in the fall. Was featured on the Most Overrated of 2006 list. Once appeared on Star Search, 1983. Among the guests at her 25th birthday were Sean Diddy Combs, Nicole Richie, Kelly Rowland and Michelle Williams. The Brazilian electro-pop rock group CSS, famous for their song, Music Is My Hot Sex, used in an Apple commercial, took their name from a reported quote from Beyoncé, in which she stated she was tired of being sexy. Canse de ser sexy is Brazilian Portuguese literally meaning, tired of being sexy. She and Jay-Z are buying a house in Miami as well as in London, England. Won Best International Female Solo Artist, Brit Awards, 2004. In 2010, she launched her new fragrance, Heat, at Macy's in Manhattan. On the TV commercial for the fragrance, Beyoncé sang Fever, a song most popularized by Peggy Lee. Lead singer of the singing group Destiny's Child. Was voted number 1 on VH1's 100 Hottest Hotties. Studied acting with Awana Chubbuck. First started singing in the church choir at St. John's Church in downtown Houston, Texas. Has been a lifelong member of, and contributor to, the church. Ex-sister-in-law of college football player, Danielle Smith. Julie Smith's aunt. Stepdaughter of Richard Lawson. Stepsister of Bianca Lawson. The Radio Music Awards, MTV Europe Video Music Awards and Billboard Awards are among the awards shows she has performed on in 2003. She also performed at a South African AIDS benefit show in November 2003, organized by Bono of U2 to combat the AIDS epidemic in sub-Saharan Africa. Nominated twice for International Female Artist of the Year, 2007 and 2009, NRJ Music Awards, France. Quotes. There's plenty of days when I'm like, oh God, why? But that's just life. It's every job, not just mine. Every moment is not perfect. But it's definitely more good times than bad. You can't even compare. And when I'm on stage it feels incredible. There are certain nights that you hit that crazy note and that spin extra fast. And you look out and people are just into it and you've worked so hard and now it's paying off and you can see why you dedicated your life to this. On comparisons to J-Lo, it doesn't annoy me, no, because I respect J-Lo. I like her, I think she's great. And I know that I'm over a decade younger than her. It's so flattering that I'm so young and people are comparing me to someone who has accomplished so much. But I don't think I'm like anyone else and really, I'd rather not be compared to anyone else. On her song, Bootylicious, I wrote that because, at the time, I'd gained some weight and the pressure that people put you under, the pressure to be thin, is unbelievable. I was just 18 and you shouldn't be thinking about that. You should be thinking about building up your character and having fun, and the song was just telling everyone just forget what people are saying, you're bootylicious. That's all. It's a celebration of curves and a celebration of women's bodies. Who I am on stage is very, very different to who I am in real life. But I don't see that having a sexy image when you are on stage means that you don't love God. No one knows what I'm really like from that. I like to walk around with bare feet and I don't like to comb my hair. I'm always so glammed up and so diva on stage, and that's what they see. People don't understand that. No one knows my personal relationship with God, and it's not up to me to prove that to anyone. For me, it's about the way I carry myself and the way I treat other people. My relationship and how I feel about God and what He does for me is something deeply personal. It's where I came from, my family. I was brought up in a religious household, and that's very important to me. But I understand the mentality of people. I know that people judge others based on certain things. I know how celebrities really are. I've done it too. You meet people, rock stars, rappers, whoever, who you have seen on television, and you go into their homes and they are regular people, just like everyone else. When asked about the disbanding of Destiny's Child, not because one person wants to go solo, or not because we don't like each other, or because we are not selling records anymore, but because it has to end at a certain point. June 2005. We all have our imperfections. But I'm human, and it's important to concentrate on other qualities besides outer beauty. One of the things that kept me out of trouble was doing something creative. Creativity can't be judged. On Bollywood cinema, I'm a fan of a few Bollywood films. I have seen Devdas, 2002, and Lagan, Once Upon a Time in India, 2001, both great films. I loved Devdas, 2002, the actress was amazing. I cried towards the end of the film. Indian films are very colorful. It can be fun to do a film like that at least once. Given a chance, I'd love to do an Indian film. December 2004. On her religious faith and the categorizing of gay society. Well, I grew up going to church, but I was raised by my uncle who passed away with AIDS a couple of years ago. He was my mother's best friend. And my mother's cousin. He brought me to school every day. He helped me buy my prom dress. He made my clothes with my mother. He was like my nanny. He was my favorite person in the world. And I never really mixed Christianity with how I felt about him. I am about faith and spirituality more so than religion. Doing right by others and not judging. If I weren't performing, I'd be a beauty editor or a therapist. I love creativity, but I also love to help others. My mother was a hairstylist, and they listened to everyone's problems, like a beauty therapist. When I sing a song, I definitely have the image for the video in my mind. I kind of hear the choreography that will be in the video, and I can see how I look, even before anyone, the record company, the director, has heard the song. I discovered after going to music festivals that I am a rock fan. I love the guitars, the phrasing, and the abandon of rock fans. You may be shocked to know that I love Peter Gabriel. His voice is so pure. Listen to In Your Eyes. I'm like everyone else. I have days when I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could change this or that. The more you mature, you realize that these imperfections make you more beautiful. On What Helps to Animate Her Act, I'm like, please piss me off before the performance. I don't like to gamble, but if there's one thing I'm willing to bet on, it's myself. If you live your life with kindness and give other people great energy, that beauty and great energy come back to you. Not everyone is supposed to be the same. Be healthy and take care of yourself, and be happy with the beautiful things that made you. Mike Myers, her co-star in Austin Powers in Goldmember, 2002, recalls this rare reminder of her youth. I mentioned that it would be good to mash together Baby Boy and The Ocean by Led Zeppelin. Who's Led Zeppelin? On Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma, just when you think it couldn't possibly get worse, natural disasters take precious life, do massive damage, and forever change lives, leaving behind contaminated water, flooded hospitals, schools, and nursing homes, and countless families are now homeless. Natural disasters don't discriminate. They don't see if you are an immigrant, black or white, Hispanic or Asian, Jewish or Muslim, wealthy or poor. It doesn't matter if you're from Houston neighborhood's 3rd Ward or River Oaks, we're all in this together. It's impossible to watch the news without seeing violence or racism in this country. On singing in Spanish, I grew up in Texas and one of my good friends from there is Mexican and she was so excited when she heard that I was doing songs in Spanish. She turned me on to Selena's album when I was growing up and I listened to it all the time. At the time, I wasn't too familiar with Spanish-speaking artists. A lot of my fans are Hispanic and they've always told me, you should sing something in Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish at all. I took it in school but I don't speak it at all, but I thought let me give this a try. On meeting with the Tejano singer Selena, I did actually meet Selena in the Galleria Mall in Houston, but I didn't say much to her because I wasn't a celebrity. I just saw her and said hello and kept it moving. Definitely growing up in Texas, I heard her on the radio. I think listening to her album, even though I didn't know exactly what she was saying, it helped me in the studio with my pronunciation. I think she is a legend. I admire her. She was so talented. On admiring the Latino culture and her Latino fans, I would thank them for embracing me. I did radio promotions this morning for hours and hours and I noticed a big difference between speaking to all of the Latino stations and speaking to the pop stations or the other stations. With the Latino stations, there was so much love and everyone is so genuine. I'm just jealous that I wasn't born Latina. I wish I had been because the culture is so beautiful. I'm very grateful Latinos are embracing me. On Jennifer Lopez, Selena, and Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, I completely admire her story of growing up in the Bronx and the success that she's had and the empire she's created. She's a very intelligent woman. I got a chance to work with her on the Pepsi commercial. She's unbelievably beautiful and talented. Of course, Selena. Growing up in Texas, hearing about her all time. I've actually performed at rodeos. I know she did that a lot. And she's close to me because of where I'm from. I've also admired Shakira. We just did a song called Beautiful Liar, and I just think that her dancing and her singing is a very unique style. But more important, she's the nicest, most humble woman I've ever worked with. I think the great thing about our duet is that we're at a great point in our careers. We're both in our prime and we worked together and it was nothing but positive and effortless. It just seemed like we were long-lost sisters. We looked alike and did certain things alike in that video. It's so weird because we grew up on different sides of the world. On connecting with the Latino culture, I feel connected for one because family is very important to me and I know it's important to all my Latino fans, and just the heart and the rhythm of the music and the drums and the spiciness, it reminds me of Creole. It reminds me of my heritage and where I come from. I'm a little messy. Oh, yeah. Whenever I'm out in public, I have to be put together. When I get home, I rebel against it and I don't want to take care of anything. I drop it. I think that is the most difficult thing for him, Jay Z. He's very, very organized. In 2003, I had my first solo album. But when I played it through for my record label, they told me I didn't have one hit on my album. I guess they were kinda right. I had 5. Dangerously in Love, Naughty Girl, Me, Myself and I, Baby Boy, and Crazy in Love.